Good afternoon.
Hey, how's it going?
Good afternoon and welcome to Bearbackers. We'll get started today with golf. You guys hear me all right? Get started with golf today. Both teams are playing right now. The women's team are in Denton, Texas, playing in the Sam Golden Invitational, while the men's team is in Pawleys Island, South Carolina at the Golf Week Fall Challenge. Both of these tournaments will go through tomorrow, and we'll get those results posted once they go final tomorrow. Women's soccer had a fun one last Thursday against Pine Bluff, winning that one 7-0. The Bears took 45 shots in the match, and 23 of them were on goal. We had 6 different goal scorers, and 30 players got minutes in the matchup. This week the Bears are at home on Thursday, which is 9/11, in our Salute to Service match. That game is against Missouri State, and kickoff is set for 6 p.m. Let's hear all the details from head coach Derek Nichols.
Yeah, like Jeremy said, it was a fun one on Thursday night. And it was our only game on the weekend, so it was nice to kind of just have the one and kind of relax the rest of the weekend and start kind of recovering, getting ready for the next. But, going into that game, we knew it was one that obviously if we took care of business, it should have been a fun night. And, we challenged the group to come out and start really fast. And I kind of feel like it was almost like the football game this weekend. We came out and like I said, with the expectation to come out and start really fast, and we didn't quite get what we wanted to out of the very beginning in that first half. And we did score 2 goals in the first 15 minutes, but we hit the post a couple times in that early on going there, and if had a couple of those gone in, I think we would have got the start we really wanted to get. But the second half was really good. We came out and we scored 5 goals in the first 20 minutes of the second half, so that's kind of what we're looking for to start that game. But just kind of a recap of how that game went. Like I said, we scored 2 in the first 15, and the first goal was scored by Caroline Billings, who is a junior out of Colorado. Scored a really nice goal, had her back to goal turn, hit a shot in really hard into the corner that the keeper had no chance on. So that kind of got us going. And then Trace Pavat, who actually had 2 goals on the night, scored our second one. 15 minutes in, nice little interplay with our midfielders. She got one on top of the box, turned in. She's right-footed, turned in on her left foot, hit one in the top corner to get us at 2. And then we started making some changes as we went into that first half. And had plenty of opportunities to score the rest of the way in that first half, but just didn't get any go in the rest of that half. But challenged them again, like I said, at halftime to put that game away early into the second half, and we were fortunate enough to do that. And so it was really cool to see Riley Ellis is one of our center backs who defenders typically don't get a lot of opportunities to score except for on set pieces, and so she was really hungry to go get one. She scored a really good header on a corner kick to start us going in the second half in the 55th minute, and then Trace Pavat got her second goal of the night, and a nice little goal right before I told the front line that they had about 10 minutes to make something happen before we started making changes in that second half, and she was able to get her second goal right before we started making those changes, so it was really good for her to get that one. She's actually leading us in goals right now with 4 goals. Our third goal of the second half was Ashlyn Fuentes, a senior out of Oklahoma City area. We were able to score on a corner there. The ball popped back out to the player who took the corner, who served it back in. Ashlyn was in a nice space in front of goal, was able to tip that one in for us. So that got us to goal number 5. Goal number 6 was Sakiko Manabe, who's our junior college All-American out of a junior college in Kansas. She's a Japanese player that is probably the most technical player I've ever coached. Really, really good player on the ball, very fun to watch, and she's usually going to be the smallest player on the field. She's just over 5 foot, but she plays like she's 7'2". And so then the final goal of the night was a really good goal, again by another defender actually, Ashlyn May. She's from Seattle, Washington. She was able to get in around the top of the box, and we hit one of our midfielders hit a really hard shot from distance. Keeper had to make a save on it. And she parried it so hard it basically wound up to the top of the 18. The ball was in the air. Keeper had fallen down off the shot, and Ashton took a peek, saw the keeper on the ground, and headed the ball in from basically the top of the 18, and she looped it right up over the keeper that was trying to get back up. So really, really good finish for our left back to be able to get in there and score that, and that was her first goal of her career. So again, a really fun night. Got the job done, what we needed to do, and now we turn the page to Missouri State on Thursday, who's going to be a really good opponent. Their record is a bit misleading. They're 2-5-1 right now. However, they played 4 Power 4 schools and St. Louis, who essentially could be or should be another one. And so they're a very, very good team. They're going to be very athletic. They'll probably be one of, if not the best team on our schedule. And like I said, their record is certainly misleading. So we know that's going to be a tough one. They're going to come after us. They're going to be very physical. They're going to press. And so we got to be ready for what they're going to bring at us. And got this week to get ready for it. So any questions? All right, thank you. Go Bears.
Men's soccer continued their string of road matches, playing at Missouri State yesterday. Tight matchup with the Purple Bears getting a couple shots on goal and the Maroon Bears getting 5 shots on goal, but neither team could break through. Match ended in a 0-0 draw. Another shutout for Javier Ramirez, the UCA goalkeeper, and his defense. Next up, the Bears will travel to High Point, North Carolina, for a match next Sunday. That game is kicking off at 6 p.m. Let's hear from Coach Kyle Segebart.
Sorry, scribbling some notes real quickly. I had a quick look at the RPI blog before I jump up here. So yeah, a great result for us, as we spoke about last week. Playing against Missouri State, since I've been here, the 4 years that I've been here as assistant and now as the head coach, we've yet to get a result against them. So getting a 0-0 draw at Missouri State, who was ranked preseason poll number 23 in the country, right, and keeping them to just 5 shots on the goal on the day is a huge credit to our team, the steps that we're making as a team going forward, and then of course to our coaching staff. You know, Will had a great scout going into the game. We had a lot of information on their team, having already played them once in the spring, and then just looking at their game so far this season. Did a great job setting everything up there. You know, Joe was on their set pieces. They're very strong in set pieces. We had the team organized, prepared. Really didn't have any opportunities, even though they think they had 13, 14 corner kicks on the day, right? So just, again, really good job from the staff there, making sure it was organized. And, of course, it's on our goalkeeper coach, first shutout for the season, right, getting Javi for his first shutout of the year. So all very good steps forward. As a team, the biggest thing that we saw was a response on the physical load that is required to play at the Division I men's soccer level. It's very, very difficult. If you can think of it, you're running, jumping, sprinting, thinking, trying to play with a ball at your feet, all while running about 12K, right? And that's done at a sprint, and then a stop, and then a sprint again, and then a stop again, right, the entire time. So it's very physical, it's very intense, and it requires a high cognitive load while you're out there. Think about like 11 quarterbacks running around trying to run a marathon and play all at the same time, right? So very excited about where we took a step in that direction. But again, as we've spoken so many times before, the season doesn't get any easier. Now we leave Missouri State. We go on another road trip, 5-day trip here to North Carolina in the Charlotte, Raleigh area. We're going to play High Point, currently ranked number 13th in the country. They'll bring a 4-2-3-1 system that's been really successful for them. If anybody knows anything about High Point as a school, I mean, it looks like Disneyland. You know what I mean? They've got the fountains everywhere. They've got a lazy river in the middle of this campus. They've got a huge scoreboard that is probably the size, of one of our stands here at UCA. Like, they've spent a lot of money on their campus. Obviously, it costs a lot of money to go to their school too, but it will definitely be a different experience. It's my first time going to High Point. However, our assistant Joe has a lot of history with this school and would very much like to see us walk away with a win on the day. So excited about that opportunity. And then we will transfer. Our next game will be 2 days later at UNC Charlotte, national tournament team last year. They play in the All-American Conference as well. Very strong team. They'll be very physical, strong in the boxes, guys that can attack crosses and offensively, and then defensively big and strong, very difficult to break down. So that will be another very strong test for us before we finally come home. And I tell you this now because I don't think I'm going to be able to get back up here and tell you the rest of our schedule, but we do finally have our first home opener on September 21st. We'll play Eastern Illinois here in Conway. That'll be a big game for us as we're bringing recruits in. They're going to be visiting with the team that day. It'll obviously be our home opener, so we're expecting everyone to come out and help support us. As we only have 4 of these at home this season, but it will be it'll be a strong game as well. Eastern Illinois, they just hired a brand new coach who was a very successful junior college coach. He will bring his style and determination into that group, so it won't be an easy game. But at that point, extremely battle-tested team against some of the best teams in the country, and we're very excited to showcase what we've learned along the way so far in front of our home fans here in Conway. Questions? Anything about the game last night? All right. Game tonight. Reserves will play. They've got U of A Costata coming in 7 p.m. So if you want to come out and see a match tonight, that'll be under the lights out there on the game field. And then we've also got a couple of community engagement events scheduled for today. Our guys will be helping out with Conway Recreational over at the recreational fields tonight. So if you've got your little ones, we'll be out there. I'll be leading the session, so it'll be a lot of fun. And then we also have a group of players helping out with Top Soccer on the Stripe tonight. So involved, invested. Our days are full, but we're very excited to represent the university in the best way possible. Thank you for the time. Go Bears.
Volleyball. Volleyball started off the Central Arkansas Invitational with a big win over Little Rock on Friday night. That matchup also counted toward the I-40 Showdown series. 3 points. 3 points for the Bears. That match went 5 games. Sugar Bears had 57 kills and 13 aces in that game, in that match against the Trojans. Then on Sunday, the Bears played 4 tight sets with Southeastern Louisiana. And then the final match of the Central Arkansas Invitational was against Boston College yesterday. Bears will play 3 matches in Chicago this coming weekend. Now let's hear from head coach John Newberry.
Thanks, man. I don't remember him. First off, I want to thank Dr. Davis and Matt. We had an incredible showing for our Euler match there. And part of the reason was because we stood on the crosswalk right there in front of the Print Center, right between the class times and free little marketing situation we did. But when I go to volleyball tournaments, I'll be standing there. I'll have a hoodie on and big convention center. And next thing I know, I'll have some clothespins or clips on the back of my hoodie. And these girls, they'll come by and they'll get you. They'll put it on there, but they'll have their Instagram on there or their team. They've gotten so creative with this. They'll glue little baby Jesuses on the back of them, and they color them up. Coach Kennedy's got one that says Aloha, so a team from Hawaii. Anyway, so I'll come away with 4, 5, sometimes 10 clips from a tournament. Well, we decided to do the same, so I got Matt and Dr. Davis involved, and these guys are faking like they were walking on the crosswalk, clipping everybody, and it was extremely funny to see. Matt had a very, very impressive one. We got it all on video. We're going to be making a little highlight reel of President Davis and Matt clipping people, all the students. But the cool thing is that the girls went to the student center and started clipping everybody, and I mean they probably, it was 300 clips. And next thing you know, the girls are like, "Oh my gosh, I got that person! And anyway, so it was pretty fun. But everybody showed up for that Euler match. It was a great environment. Euler's a very good team. We switched up the way that we serve, so 13 serving aces against Euler is a very tough thing to do. It's a good team, but we're very excited to get that game done and with the win. And the other thing is that we lost Gabby, our 6'4" lefty right side. She got ding-donged in the head playing back row and went off her head and hit the ceiling in the Print Center. And she was able to finish the game, thank God, because she had a monster kill and a monster block at the very, very end of that game. It just lit everybody on fire. But I missed her against Southeastern Louisiana. Needed her out there because those games were extremely tight, 25-23, 26-24. Going 4 sets with them. Very, very good team. They've won the Southland Conference the last 3 years. Knew it was going to be a tough one, but I thought it was going to be something we could win, assuming we'd be healthy, because that was something that we needed on the court. I was really, really proud against our Boston College. That was a game scheduled. I was hoping that we'd be healthy enough to get them, and we played them very tight up in the second and the third set. Just got stuck in another rotation as part of the game, and so. But I'm excited for this weekend. We're going to land at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to be telling the girls tomorrow, surprising them. We're going to go to a White Sox game on Thursday. We'll go check out the White Sox in Tampa Bay, right, because it's right next to our hotel, and then we'll have practice that afternoon. So it's one of our little experiences that we get to do. Usually, you think it's just sports, but getting outside and getting to do something because we're inside, don't get to see the sun a whole lot. Even though it's a climate-controlled environment, it's going to be good for us to be able to get out and kind of do something a little bit different. Don't get these opportunities, but we went to Chicago because that's where Gabby is from. Her parents, they own it's a Hawaiian or a hula. They do corporate events, so it's catering, the hula dancers, the fire twirlers, they bring in palm trees, like it's corporate, it's big time. So that's what her parents do there in Chicago. They bring a Hawaii over there to all these corporate events, and so we're going to be able to hang out with the family and all that stuff and see them for the first time, and she's excited to get back home. But anyway, so that's it. Please, y'all say some prayers for our team. We need a little bit of good luck right now and get rid of all these injuries. It's exactly what happened last year, and so it's good. We're getting some good experience. I think 1 out of 17 of my players has not played yet, so we've had 16 girls play, which is crazy. That's not entirely what we want to be doing, but we're getting good experience, so it could be a big blessing in disguise. So anyways, thank you guys so much.
Hey, moving to football. Who was here on Saturday? Yeah, great environment, great day for UCA, great day for UCA athletics. And great news, I don't have to start this off with talking about punter stats like I did last week. So that's great. No offense to Trace Beard. I'm sure he would have had a great game if we needed him. But we don't have to talk about punter stats this week. Quarterback, we won the game against Pine Bluff 41-17. Quarterback Luther Richardson rushed for 83 yards and a touchdown, and then passed for another 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. Running back Landon Chambers rushed for 106 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Washington added another rushing touchdown. Receiver Malachi Henry had 82 yards receiving with a touchdown. Ty Durham and Terrell Pollard both also had TD catches. Defensively, Nylan Jones led the way with 7 tackles, 1 for a loss. Kyle Vokey, not easy to say, added another 6 tackles. Gary Lewis, Duncan Parham, and Jacoby Shell all had a sack in the game. We had a crowd of over 9,000 in and around the stadium. Great atmosphere. We need to do it again this Saturday when we welcome Tarleton State, who is currently ranked number 3 in the FCS coaches poll in the nation. That kickoff is set for 6 p.m. on Saturday. Now let's hear from head coach Nathan Brown.
Thanks, Jeremy. Let's talk a little bit about Saturday. Proud of our amazing atmosphere, crowd. That's what any college event, especially in football, should look like. A lot of excitement around the central part of the state for various reasons we talked about last week with two games that fielded all 4 Division I football programs, and I thought we held our end of the bargain up well in Conway, and that's a testament to you guys as fans, alums, supporters, all of the above, to be here and do do what we did Saturday, because when you watch the film, you don't really appreciate it as a coach while you're coaching, because you're coaching, you're locked into the game. But then you see plays throughout the film as you're studying the film and making adjustments and grading it and doing all those things, and you just see the stands and see Bruce Street is that means a lot, not only to us but also our players. It's a big deal to have that kind of support. So happy to get the win. Again, very lopsided box score. When you talk about total yards, with it being over 600 yards offense and around 244, 250 yards for UAPB, but all that tells me is again the score didn't indicate what it should have been, and that's not a knock on Pine Bluff and Coach Alonzo Hampton and his team. But when you win the box score like that, the score should be a little more lopsided. And I get 41-17 as a fairly lopsided score. But if you put over 600 yards up of offense, there needs to be at least a 50 on the offensive score. So we stopped ourselves 3 times. If you sit there and you look and you start splitting hairs on things that has to improve, our first 2 drives resulted in 2 turnovers. We marched the ball right down the field on the first drive and got it inside the 10. And Luther, we called a quarterback read run, and he kept the ball just like he was supposed to. Did a great job. At a scraping linebacker came across, put his helmet right on the ball, and good learning moment for Luther. He was being a little bit loose with the ball. I thought all of our skill guys were being fairly loose with the ball throughout the night, so we addressed that on Sunday night in practice. And then the second drive, we stop them, we get the ball back. On the second drive, it's still 0-0. The second play of that drive, we throw a tip ball that just lands kind of right in the lap of their linebacker. And they basically got them down at the 1. I count that 7 points to the offense. I mean, it was basically a pick 6. And so, you're down 7-0. You're getting punched in the mouth. You're like, man, we feel like we're doing the right thing. But I told our team last night in our team meeting, one thing that it was good about Saturday was you win a lopsided game, but you won a lopsided game with a little bit of adversity and work you had to get done. You didn't just sit there and roll the ball out there and not have any resistance. I thought Pine Bluff has a good team. I think that they'll do some good things in the SWAC. I think they're developing in year 2 Coach Hampton's mentality. And I thought they played hard for 60 minutes, evident on the last touchdown. They're continuing to play to try to score. And so we had to work for what we accomplished on Saturday, and that's good to see. Some individual guys that stood out to me was I thought our defensive front did a good job. Now, what I will say this, I thought we missed probably an extra 3 or 4 sacks on the night. Their quarterback was elusive. He was hard to get down. He did a good job extending plays, but we've got to track the upfield hip. We know he was a reverse out quarterback to keep the play alive. We got undisciplined at times with some of our rushing and some of our blitzes on where we were supposed to be attacking that quarterback. He did a good job extending plays. But we were able to get him down 3 times. We get 3 sacks. We gave up no sacks, right? That's a win, right? We rushed for 318 yards. They rushed for 44 yards. That's a win, right? Passing-wise, we threw for right under 300. I think they scratched out 240 or 250 yards. A lot of that was on some scramble drills that we've got to do a better job latching on to their wide receivers throughout the game. But again, I think our first-team defense gave up 3 points. I mean, when it was all said and done, there at the end, they scratched off a touchdown late. That was a lot of our reserve role players at that point. But we gave up really a field goal with our first and second team defense. So that's encouraging, and that's a lot to build off of for those guys. I thought offensively, take away the turnovers, it was a good night. We executed. You take away the 2 fumbles and the interception. Trace Beard didn't have to, like Jeremy said, didn't have to punt at all. When you don't have to run the punter out there, you're probably having some success. So again, a lot to build on, a lot to grow from. A game like that, you expect to win. You expect to play well. You expect to come out of it feeling better than you came into it, and I think we do. Now, what's ahead of us? Well, the number 3 ranked team in the country is ahead of us. Tarleton State is everything as they're advertised. to me, have the best Division I FCS resume in the country. To this point, they've got 3 games. They played a week 0 game, so they're a game ahead of everybody else. If you look at their resume, they went out to the West and beat Portland State, who's in the Big Sky Conference, week 2, or I guess week 1 technically. Their second game, they went to Army and beat Army. And Army beat Kansas State this week, so Army's pretty good. Army beat Kansas State at Kansas State. So they go up to Army. You don't just go up to Army and win that game. I mean, that is a I know it's a program-defining win for them, but, man, for the FCS, that's a defining win, to beat an FBS program the caliber of Army. And then they were back home for their home opener this weekend against Mississippi Valley State, who's also out of the SWAC, and they did what you expect them to do. They won 56-3. They've given up 3 points to FCS opponents this point in the season. They're outscoring FCS opponents 90-something to 3. So between the Portland State game and the Mississippi Valley State game, they're like I said, they're as advertised. They've done a good job recruiting and retaining, and they've got high caliber coaches, and they do it right down there. I mean, it's just kind of the way it is. But look, we got a talented team too, and we've got a physical team too. And so anybody that enjoys, like, let's rewind to, since we got this, kind of a Bobby Tyner generation. Let's talk Bobby Tyner generation here. All right. Let's. Well, you heard me just fine. Cheney Floyd generation. Yeah, so let's picture that era of football. Now listen to me clearly on this. Saturday is going to be that era of football. It's going to be an absolute slobber-knocking battle. This identity of our football team, now I'm not going to sit there and say we're going to go out-rush everybody we play or we're going to out-physical everybody we play. But here's what I do know. We're going to run the football, and we're going to run it effectively and efficiently, and we're going to be almost borderline boneheaded running the ball. We're going to create deception with movements and motions and things of that nature that are going to allow us to get those big runs up the middle, but also give the threat of the edge run as well. 318 yards of offense on Saturday. We rushed for right at 160 yards of offense at Missouri, who beat Kansas. We had more total yards than Kansas did. Kansas rushed for a whopping 22 yards on Missouri. We've got a chance to be a pretty physical running attack offense. Tarleton is going to punch us right back. Tarleton is going to have those old school looking linebackers that are going to come downhill and they're going to meet you in the hole. Landon Chambers, y'all might better check on him on Sunday morning because he might be sleeping in an ice bath on Saturday night. We're going to need that kind of effort on Saturday. And that gives me chill bumps thinking about. And I'm excited about what this game is. I'm excited about hopefully the anticipation for a game like this. This is the biggest game at Estes Stadium on the Stripes since 2012, Sam Houston State, when the number 1 ranked team came in here for a 3 o'clock kick, and the UCA Bears, I believe, we beat them 24-18, 24-17 through a last-minute touchdown to Dominique Kroom on a seam route. All right, let's fast forward. That was the number 1 ranked team, Sam Houston State. Let's fast forward to 2017, Sam Houston State. They were the number 2 ranked team at that point. We beat them 38-31 that night as well. This is the biggest game since those 2 games. Tarleton they've got a lot of seniors. They've got a lot of kids back. They've got a lot of good transfers. They feel like this is their year. And so we're getting them at a good time. And respect Coach Witten. He's an old school coach. He's hired really talented coaches. And he's got a really talented quarterback and a core nucleus on his team that obviously success has followed over the last couple of years. You look at last year's game against them, similar schemes, kept their coordinators in place, so we know what we're kind of playing against. You look at that game, we were down to our third-string quarterback. Caleb Koger went and started that game, the last game of the season. We've been watching it the last couple of days. We were down 14-21 with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And we were playing with a third-string quarterback, and that was a second-round playoff team at Tarleton. We played our butts off, and we just were undermanned. It just is what it is. Well, let's roll the ball out there and try it again up here on the Stripes. We're excited about the opportunity. So, looking forward to a great crowd. Looking forward to welcoming Tarleton back on the Stripes, and obviously a premier game as far as the nation goes, FCS-wise, but definitely in the United Athletic Conference, a big game to start the conference season out with. So, with that being said, I'd love to take any questions about the game or things moving forward. Young Brown, he plays tonight. They're 1-0. He had a touchdown, a couple sacks, played well. Big night tonight, though. Patriots versus Chargers. So we'll see what happens. Riley report. Riley's doing well in volleyball. She is. John, y'all offer him in like 5th grade, don't y'all? Used to. Oh, okay. I was just checking. She's looking for an offer. She's doing well. Ruth Doyle Middle School, I think they played 7 games at this point, however you call it, matches, games, and I think they're 6-1. They're playing well.
I think since you're giving the Luke report, I wanted to.
She's the stud. I'll tell you that. She is. Bobby?
I thought your offensive line did an excellent job today. As the rules changed back in my era, if an offensive lineman got a pancake block, he would get a star on his helmet. And now they get called for holding every time. Warren Taylor should have thought a perfect pancake block and got called for holding.
I'll tell you who really got that pancake block was the Stripes. Kid just slipped, and he just finished him. You know what I mean? Like, his legs kind of went out from up. But, I thought that was iffy. I thought that was iffy. But I agree with you. Look, the old days of, I don't know how y'all coached it back in the day, but, you get inside their pads. That ain't a hold inside their pads. You can take them where you want them, right? I think at times, I don't know. Those holding calls seem to come at inopportune times. You could probably call holding on about every play, but I did not. I'm not going to say whether I agreed or disagreed with that call, but I thought it was a tough call, right, in that moment. But again, this weekend, looking forward to it. You guys, please come support. I think it's going to be a massive opportunity and weekend. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Family Weekend? Family Day? Family Day and Band Day. It ought to be a great weekend for football. So looking forward to seeing everybody. Thank y'all.
How's everybody doing? All right. That's a great looking group right here. We appreciate you being with us today. We were talking in our staff meeting this morning. Our ESPN broadcast leader, Michael Deere, shared that we had more ESPN productions. We had as many ESPN productions this weekend here on campus as we have over the rest of the month. So a busy weekend on campus, and I know we saw several folks that are here today out to several of the games, and really appreciate you being there. It was a great weekend, great crowds across campus, and we sure appreciate your support. We've talked about it today. Men's soccer reserve tonight, women's soccer Thursday night, and then another big game on the Stripes on Saturday. And as Coach Brown mentioned, it's Family Day, Band Day. Excited about that. We'll have several guests on campus. Really excited about the potential crowd that we have a chance to have this weekend, and hope that you'll come out and join us this weekend as well. It's been advertised. It's a top 5 team here in Conway, and we're looking forward to having them on the Stripe. So really hope you'll join us again this weekend. Excited about that. Let's have a great week. Go Bears. Go Sugar Bears. Bear claws up.